Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin if you are new here, and today I am going to give you a full tour of my boys' shared bedroom. About 3 months ago, we moved our boys who are 5 and 9 into a shared bedroom, into one of our 2 extra bedrooms, and it's a small room. We knew that we were going to have to be creative with kind of the organizational systems that we were going to use, but we also knew that we were going to have to really downsize and purge and just be more intentional about the things that we keep and kind of really encourage our kids to only keep the things that they really use and love. I am going to take you guys on a tour around this room and show you everything that we have in this room. Also to note, my boys do have almost all of their toys in this room. Outside of one bin of like Lego Duplos that we keep in our kind of like our homeschool playroom, and then a couple of educational toys that we keep in there, everything else lives in this space. So again, we are very intentional about what we keep, but also please remember, just another caveat, this room is clean because I literally just spent an hour with my kids really giving it a good clean. This is not how it looks like on a normal basis. This is not how it looks like really ever. They play hard in here. They have Legos, as you see, strewn about the floor all the time. And once a month or once every couple months, I come in here and we give it a really good clean, and kind of in between, they kind of pick up and do the best they can. But again, they're 5 and 9. They're not going to clean it like mom's gonna clean it. And that's just kind of the reality of it. So they do the best they can. I give them, props for doing the best that they can, and we just kind of move on. So I am not like a super picky person in this room. I can be picky in my living room, I can be picky in my kitchen, but I'm not going to be picky in here because this is their space, and this is the space that I want them to kind of feel like is their own in our house. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started on our tour. So as you look down into my boys' bedroom from our hallway, this is what you will see. And this is kind of always my goal, is that if it's messy, when you look down the hallway, you don't see the junk on the floor. So this is kind of how we've arranged it so that there's not a lot of stuff in front of the window. And as you walk in, over here, I'm gonna kind of just go around the room. I'll start over here on the right. This is kind of like our major Lego corner. And this is where they do all of their building and creating and all the things. And while this looks really neat and tidy right now, the reality is that this is not how this is normally. So just kind of keep that in mind. On a regular basis, we do try to have them tidy up their Legos at the end of the day. However, we have these 2 gray bins, this one here and this one here. And we will just kind of throw any extra pieces in there, and that's totally fine. And then every 6 months I get frustrated and we sort through and, recolor code everything. That's kind of how the system I have set up is color coded. I think it's easier for them to find things. They really do like it that way, but they're just not awesome at keeping it that way. So mom has to step in and help sometimes, which is fine. We have this shelf that we put up here, and this shelf holds some of their Lego creations. And then we have a few shelves I'll show you as well that we're gonna probably add at least one more to. This I made probably 2 to 3 years ago. And this is kind of like their little people area, and they love to put they love the Lego people. I don't know if your kids, if you have boys who love Legos, I swear they love the people more than anything else. So they can kind of display their people up here, which they like. And then as you kind of shift your way around the room, this is their dresser. They do share this dresser. My older one has kind of displayed some of his trophies and baseballs and stuff on the top. But my older one has the top 2 drawers and my younger one has the bottom 2 drawers. I'm not going to show you in the drawers right now just for privacy reasons, but just note that the top one has socks and underwear, and then any kind of sports, sporting clothes in the middle. And then this one down here has shorts on one side, sweatpants, and then pajamas, and that's the exact same setup down here for my younger one. So as you shift around the room and keep going, you'll see that my boys do have bunk beds. As much as I would love for them to each have their own little bed right now, this makes the most practical sense for us to have bunk beds, just because it gives them tons of floor space to play. So for right now, we have bunk beds, and they really do love them. I mean, they're 5 and 9, so what better way to play than, you know, jumping off of a bunk bed. We did build these. I will leave the plans that we used. They were from Anna White, and we just painted it white. And then you'll see underneath the bed, we have a couple of totes. One is for clothes that my younger one can grow into from his older brother. And then the other tote is our trains. And my younger one still loves his trains, and we do pull those out fairly regularly. So we keep those in here. In their nightstand, this is one of those, it's from IKEA. I actually used it as a side table, and this is actually for like a laptop. So we don't really use this right now. And then they keep just some books that they like to look at before bed in here. As you keep shifting around the room, you'll see they have a really big window, which we do love. And then you'll see this is their closet. And this is about an 8-foot closet, which is really nice. It gives them plenty of room. And my older one has the basketball goal, but obviously my younger one is kind of getting into that now too. And then inside the closet, we have had to do our very best to make the use of this space. So in this space, we have, this is where kind of their other toys live. So we have this 8-cube storage unit, and it kind of divides up their clothes. So my older one has the right side over there, and then my younger one has the left side over there. And then on the top shelves, we keep their sleeping bags, and then we just kind of have some open space for right now. Those are a few extra blankets that they will pull down here coming into the fall and winter. And then a couple of things that are kind of more supervised toys, or things that we want them to ask to get down. That grab-a-trax back there, and then we have a marble thing back there as well. So that's what's up there. And then over here on the right, my younger one has a couple big Paw Patrol toys that he loves to play with still, so we keep those there. And then over here on this side, we have the suitcases that they use, as well as a Hot Wheels racetrack. So that's that. In these top 2 bins, I have put jeans and like nicer shorts. So this is for my younger one, and then this side is for my older one. And again, we really try to keep what they have pretty minimal. Right now it looks like they have a ton of clothes because they still have their summer clothes out, but we've also kind of incorporated our fall and winter in here. But here in a few weeks, once the weather really changes, I will pull out most of those t-shirts, and they will just have their fall and winter clothes in here. So the toys that we've chosen to keep are, for right now, we have like a superhero bin. These are Toy Story toys, so that's for my younger one. This is kind of like a miscellaneous bin, but it's got like their laser tag, and then some like a few balls, but then like kind of like technology type stuff, like a little computer and like a magnadoodle. This is the Paw Patrol toys that kind of go with the Paw Patrol tower over there. This bin is actually completely empty, so this gives us a little bit of space to grow into come Christmas time, which is coming really quickly. And then this is all of their cars and monster trucks, which this bin is a little bit overflowing. We probably need to do a little bit of a purge in here, but for right now, it's working. And so this toy storage unit actually works really well. I like that it's hidden behind closed doors. It doesn't add a bunch of visual clutter even when you open up the closet. Everything is kind of tucked away nicely, and my kids can access it really easily, so that's nice too. I've also tried to make use of the doors, so I've put a few command hooks here. They can hang their robes and their baseball hats, which works really well, so that they're kind of hidden away and tucked away when the door is closed, but they can easily access them. As you keep twisting around the room, you'll come over here, and behind the door to get into this room, there's kind of like this little alcove or cubby, or I don't know what you want to call it. And for right now, we just have 2 shelves up here for their Legos. We will probably be adding at least 1 more shelf over here, just because my boys, this is all they do is build Legos. So they need a little bit more space, so we will probably do that. And then down here in this little cube unit, Obviously we have a trash can over here. This is my older one's baseball cards. He loves baseball cards and he needed a place to put them. So for right now they're there. I'm sure they might make their way into the closet or something eventually, but for now that is working and it makes good use of this space over here. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this tour around my boys' shared bedroom. I hope that you guys got some kind of inspiration and some ideas on how maybe you could set up a shared room for your kids. My biggest tips, if you guys are looking for some really more like practical tips on how to keep your kids' bedroom kind of clutter-free, but also very practical in the fact that they can actually live there and it's not just really sparse with nothing for them to do, is to have them pick their favorite toy and let that be kind of the center of the room. And okay, so like my kids have Lego, obviously that's the center of their room. That's what they play with the most, but we've also kind of really kept a space, a specific space for all of the Lego to live. And so if you have a toy, maybe you have girls and they love Barbies, you know, give them a specific limit on how much they can have, give them a space to play that in their room, and make sure that they know their limits. So when something else comes in that's new, they know that maybe they're gonna have to get rid of something that's old that they're not playing with anymore. So that kind of is like my best tip as far as kids, is give them limits, because they will thrive on limits, just as we do, just as we thrive on limits as far as, you know, budgeting or eating or anything else that, you know, we do in life. We're limited to doing certain things or eating a certain amount of food. So give your kids limits too. It's a really good way to teach them that kind of whole concept of I can only have so much. My second tip is to make sure that you guys kind of leave a lot of open space. So for my boys' room, it's not very big, and so we've really tried to give them plenty of space where there's really not any furniture, where there's, you know, they can get up to all the way up to the wall. There's nothing there. It's not like we have furniture all the way around the room. I feel like sometimes we feel like we need to add all of these organizational elements into a room, and all it does is it makes it feel even more cluttered and more claustrophobic. And so instead of doing that, I think your best bet is to just give yourself a specific amount of space for each thing. So like for my kids' clothes, we have a specific amount of space that they can use for their clothes. They each get 2 drawers. They each have, you know, a section of the closet. I know that that's our limits. We have kind of a certain amount of hangers that we use for them. And so we know that when they've hit that amount, we don't need to buy any more, that they have enough. And I also think that with Christmas and with birthdays, and if you have family members who like to buy things for your kids, then you might have to be constantly weeding out the old to make room for the new, and that's okay. I think, you know, for us, we've really kind of said, okay, we have enough and we don't need any more, and that we just kind of cut ourselves off until our kids outgrow them or the seasons change and they need something different. You know, so same with the clothes, same with the toys. They know their limits, they know what they have enough space for, and that's that. And my last tip is, once you get everything set up, really get your kids into a good routine of, you know, picking up their toys before they go to bed, or picking up their toys before they lay down for a nap, and making their bed in the morning so that it kind of keeps their room tidy. It really makes a huge difference when kids can follow through with routines. And so if you're struggling with your routines, then your kids are probably going to be struggling with their routines. But I really think that just little things like make your bed in the morning, you know, that doesn't take very long, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, kids are kids. They're not going to make their beds perfectly like we make our beds, and that's fine. But if they can pull their covers up and put their pillows on and lay down their stuffed animals nicely, then that's making their bed, and that's, you know, that's a win in my book. So anyways, I hope that you guys found some good tips and some motivation in this video. If you did, please hit that like button. It really does help out my channel so much. And if you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.